I specialize in sports and GT cars, mostly from the 50s and 60s. And I developed that interest from when I was very young, reading car magazines as a teenager. So the cars that were in Road and Track in the 1960s, a Ferrari 500 Superfast comes to mind, are the things that really stuck in my head. The most memorable car I've sold at auction for me is very easily identified as the James Bond Aston Martin DB5. I've been a Bond freak since I was 10 years old, when my mother took me to see Goldfinger in 1965, and that car, of course, that car became a star of the show, and also turned my head around as a young boy growing up in the Midwest into the sophistication and elegance of European GT cars. That's led to my own ownership of Aston Martins, and I've been involved with the Aston Martin Owners Club for about 20 years now, in various directorship roles. Well, collector cars had been in the background with me since childhood and through my career in other industries, and now that I'm involved professionally with the hobby, it gives me the opportunity to spend more time yet in vintage racing, road rallies, and concours event attendance. But there's so many opportunities to engage with other enthusiasts. I like to keep up with as many as possible. I think that the golden rule for me, and that I advise my clients generally, is to stick with quality. The best of almost anything is bound to be a good investment in the long run. We're seeing surprising and consistent strength in the top end of the market, especially in the $1 million plus area. But that does trickle down into the very best examples of cars in the mid and lower price ranges as well. So it may sound cliche, but quality, quality, quality. Just like real estate, location, location, location. I have a number of collector cars, some significant, many minor and unusual. Some examples are my DB4 Aston Martin, which I've owned for a long time and consider perhaps the core of my collection. I have two other earlier Astons, one of which I've done the California Melee with. It's a 50s car, so it qualifies. And I've recently bought a Toyota 2000 GT and a Mazda Cosmo Sport, late 60s, early 70s cars. My advice for new collectors is to start with what you know and what you love. Don't buy anything strictly as an investment. Imagine the car in your garage 5 or 10 years from now and still putting a smile on your face.